Today I'm taking Vietnam's best bus that's literally a capsule hotel on wheels. First, we have to hop on this other bus for a quick ride to the station. So as you can see, buses in Vietnam are like nowhere else in the world. This one has 3 rows of seats that are on 2 different levels. And I picked the top seat, and from there I have a view on the driver as we're departing. It's gonna be a pretty fun ride.
So you might have noticed this is not a normal bus seat. This is a reclined bus seat, which is, I feel, the best way to travel over long distances, whether you're traveling overnight or not.
So if you look at the seat, the top part looks pretty normal, with a padded headrest and all, but instead of sitting like in a normal bus, you're laying down and you have a ton of legroom. And you can also recline pretty far back if you want to fully lay down, since those buses are made for sleeping. They even give you a blanket, which feels really nice and comfy, and you also get a bit of privacy with a curtain too. And also I think these buses are made with the average Vietnamese person in mind, which seems to be smaller than me.
I can extend my legs all the way. I kind of touched the end, so this is not for you if you're super tall. You might want to take the second one, which is the fancy bus.
And most buses between cities in Vietnam have this type of seats, which I really love since they are super comfy. These are called sleeper buses, but you can also take them during the day like me if you just want to relax and be comfortable. And this bus was pretty cool, but this is really nothing compared to the bus we're taking today. That's truly a first-class experience and a capsule hotel on wheels. So right now I'm at the station and waiting to get into my capsule hotel bus. And from the outside it looks just like a normal bus, but the inside is so unique. And here I am very excited because we're getting on the best bus I've ever seen. The boarding process is incredibly efficient. You have to put your shoes in this plastic bag when you arrive, because this is literally a hotel on wheels and the floors are kept super clean. The driver is super nice. He checked my ticket and showed me my capsule. We have 22 capsules only, instead of the average 56 seats in a normal bus. So just walking through the alley, it feels super quiet and spacious, and I know I'll love this bus. There's also a really cool spaceship aesthetic going on, with every capsule being named after a constellation. Mine is number 17, Pisces. So when booking your ticket, you can pick between top and bottom, and there's only good seats on this bus, but the bottom capsules are apparently better for sleeping, since they are very dark and closer to the ground. So I picked a top capsule to get better views, which means that after dropping my stuff, I need to climb up there using this protective railing and those steps, which is pretty easy.
So I'm in my room now, and I didn't even have the time to drop my stuff that we were on our way. And I am so excited to show you this bus. It feels between a capsule hotel and a first-class airplane seat. Seriously, this is as close as you can get to flying first class while spending only $19. So let me show you.
And welcome to our beautiful capsule room. Right away you can see that we have this massive and extremely comfy seat with a nice headrest that is super thick and squishy, and also is removable. This is the largest seat I've ever seen on a bus. It is seriously big, and you can choose to travel either seated or recline your seat flat and lay down. And you just have so much legroom. Look at this. I'm 5'7" and I can fully lay down with plenty of room to spare. This seriously feels so nice, and I've never seen that in any other sleeping bus. And if you're in day mode, there's a few things you can control to have a comfy trip. First of all, you have this big TV screen where you can watch a movie, but I didn't really take the time to figure out how it worked. Then you have 2 cup holders, one on the left and one on the right with a wet wipe. There's also this little hook where you can hang some stuff. But the most important control to me here is the AC. Vietnamese buses can be so cold sometimes, and I also always bring a big scarf to make sure I'm not freezing. I always take my valuables and other essentials in my bag with me when I'm on the bus. And obviously this always includes a snack. And for today, I got this rice ball at 7-Eleven before leaving. It's super simple and cheap, and it's super good. And another essential that's always in my bag are noise-canceling earbuds. And as you've seen, buses in Vietnam are really cool, but they can get pretty noisy, and they even have a nightclub vibe. So this is why I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Soundcore, and their Liberty 4NC noise-canceling earbuds. They reduce noise by up to 98.5%. So if I put them on, instead of hearing this if I'm in a noisy bus, I'm hearing this. They also have a really cool feature called Adaptive ANC 2.0, which means it automatically adapts to the unique sounds of your environment and the way you hear. And I personally found them pretty impressive to tune out my environment when I'm taking public transport. Also, the sound quality is super good, and the battery can last up to 50 hours with a charging case. You really are covered if you take long trips like this one. So go click the link in the description below to shrink the noise wherever you go with the Soundcore Liberty 4NC noise cancelling earbuds. The other thing I really like is that you have full privacy with this little curtain that separates you from the rest of the bus, and also with a super cool blackout shade that makes your room very dark and ideal for resting. It really transforms your seat into an actual capsule bedroom. And here I find it super easy to forget that we're in a bus. We have so much space with one full Lucille roll. This really feels more like a bed than a seat. And one thing I really love here is this really cool blue lighting. Check out the ceiling here. It looks just like the ones in these cool capsule hotels. And I find it super fun and aesthetic. And you can change the lighting with these buttons near the TV. And you also have a tiny reading lamp next to your head and some mood lighting next to your feet. Also, I really have to mention how quiet and relaxing everything is here. Since the capsules are so big, there's not too many other passengers, and I've not heard a noise since I arrived.
And I'm really enjoying the atmosphere here and how comfy everything feels. This doesn't feel at all like I'm taking a 5-hour bus trip. I could really do this for fun, just watch the views, discover the countryside, and just have nothing else to do.
And right now we are going so fast on these tiny mountain roads with beautiful views over the countryside. It is very green and lush, and I also love passing by villages and seeing the local life. In my experience, bus drivers in Vietnam drive like they are in Formula 1, and every time I've taken one, we've arrived hours ahead of schedule. Seriously, the first time I took a Vietnamese bus, the trip was so fast that we arrived in the middle of the night instead of the morning. I'm telling you that because that was also the time I picked to shoot my thumbnail for this video, and I really hope you appreciate the effort because we were driving at race car speeds and it was a very shaky and dangerous experience. So right now we're taking this bus back from the countryside to Ho Chi Minh City, so the views are really nice, especially since I took this bus during the daytime because I wanted to re-enjoy the scenery and amenities. How it works is that the line starts in Dalat and you book your capsule for the whole trip, even if you get down before, since it's just like a hotel but on wheels. So it's particularly good on longer trips. You can also take it overnight if you want to save money on accommodation, and from the little nap I took before, I have to say that this is extremely comfy and I totally recommend it.
I have been here for a few hours and I have to tell you, this is very high up at the top of the comfiest bus rides I've ever had. This feels super luxurious from the experience to the room itself. I'm like really enjoying it. Also, this really looks like a capsule hotel when you're in it. The only giveaway that it's a bus is obviously that it's moving and that if you open the windows you can watch the landscape change outside. So I really have to say that Vietnam has the best buses in the world, and this one is really the best I've taken out here.
So after this I decided to fully enjoy my bus ride and watch the views change as we were leaving the countryside behind and making our way to Ho Chi Minh City. For me, comfy travel days like this are such a good opportunity to relax and reflect on my experience, especially since this was the last day of my trip to Vietnam, a country I keep finding myself coming back to because it is so underrated. In my next series I'll be going to Korea, so I hope to see you there.